Hey y'all, happy Sunday. It's time to adult with me. We're going to do week for March, our very last paycheck for the month. I'm going to do a quick budget with me session, and then we're going to take care of all of our adulting binder things like the month ahead binder. We're going to do the 2026 box challenge. We get to play Saveopoly. Um, we're going to get into the Christmas box, and we're going to visit Piggy Tires and the Bubbles Challenge. So we've got a lot to do. It's a little bit later in the day. We'll get to it though. All right, so grab your favorite drink, your favorite snack, and let's be Sunday. I hope you have had a great weekend. By the time this is up, it'll be a little bit later in the day than it normally is. So the weekend will almost be over. Womp womp, as Finn would say. I got a little bit of the Sunday scaries. I am not looking forward to going back to work. Not that I don't absolutely love my job, because I do, and it's always quite fun, actually. But Sundays are always just a little bit rough at the end of the day because you got to go back to work. This weekend, I have been busy working in the library craft room office, my space, and I've got the bookshelf put together and painted, and I've now just got to take care of some minor things to get it completely finished up, and it's been a couple of months coming, so I was pretty determined to get it done. Anyways, I'm behind on filming, but I wanted to go ahead and get that done. I don't want to ever get so behind that I miss a day. So we've got a lot to do. But up first is our last week of budget with me for March. So um, this is the first month that I've done this with y'all. Kind of give you an idea of how I budget for my savings. This is, let's see, here's our calendar for the month. It says February, but it's really March. We've taken care, we are now on our fourth paycheck of the month. So 1, 2, 3. And the reason why this one doesn't count towards March is this one always goes towards the next month. So the last month of, or the last week of February would have been our first paycheck for March. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So with this last paycheck, we got to take care of all the rest of our expenses for the month of March, because this check, which comes at the end of next week, will go towards April. So let's take a look and see how our budget worked out this week. We get our little calculator out here. Hopefully it's still charged up. There it is. All right. So, and these sheets I just printed out myself. They're what I use to figure it up to get to a zero-based budget. So if this is your first time seeing how I budget, I will just put out there, I am in no way a financial advisor or an expert in any way, shape, or form. This is just a system that works for me and my family. So maybe, it can give you some ideas about how to take control of your finances. Basically, the idea behind a zero-based budget is that every single dollar of every single paycheck is given a job. So we go down to zero at the end of the budgeting period, because we want to make sure that every dollar that came in has a purpose. It doesn't just sit there. Okay, so how we do this, we start with our paycheck here, $17.25. That's our income for the week. And my husband does get paid weekly. I get paid monthly. So our weekly paychecks that come in, very nice for budgeting this way. We're very lucky to have that. This is going to be a lower amount than our next check, which will go be my monthly paycheck, which will go towards a larger amount of bills. So we take our $17.25, that's our starting number, and we go first to our fixed expenses. Fixed expenses being the things that are fixed. They stay the same, they are every month, and we have to pay them. So we do those first. So coming out of this check here, we have our car insurance and our water and trash bill. That's a total of $275, $155, coming together to be $430. So I'm going to take this 1725 and subtract out 430, giving me a leftover amount after fixed expenses of $1,295. Okay, so we've taken care of our fixed expenses. That money is set aside for those bills. I'm going to take that $1,295 up here to my next category, which is variable expenses. Now, variable expenses are things that are typically something I have to save for every week or every month. They don't change a whole lot, but they can vary, hence the name variable. So, for instance, groceries can go up and down, medical or eating out. Based on what we know is going to be happening this week, we can change those amounts. For this week, we have 140 for gas and Pike Pass, 200 for our groceries, 20 for medical, 84 for eating out, and 25 for Little Birds. We skipped self-care this week. All right, so $12.95. That all comes to a total of $469. We're going to subtract that $469 from the $12.95 that we had, and we now have $826. All right, so now we've taken care of our fixed, our variables. The next most important category, unfortunately, is debt payments. All right, so we're going to take our $826 down to the debt payment block, and we're going to be subtracting out $221. That is how much our debt payments equal for this week alone. Hence why we are doing this. We are getting out of debt because that is awful. As you've seen, every week this month, we've had an amount come out. So this is not the debt for the month. This is the debt for this week. Okay, so after the $221 comes out of debt, we have then taken care of fixed, variable, and debt. We now have $605. Now we come over to the second page where we're going to hit our sinking funds and our savings challenges. Before I do that, I like to do this because I do use a spiral bound book when I do this for myself each month. I like to get the numbers totaled up here. So totaled fixed, and this is total income, which is the $1,725. Totaled fixed and variable, which we would kind of consider our bills, our expenses of life, are $430 plus $469. That means our total fixed and variable is $899, so almost $900 right there just on bills and general expenses. Then the next category it's going to ask us for is total debt payments, which we know is $221 for the week. Okay. So we know that of the 1725, almost 900 is going to fixed and variable, but debt payments of 221. So if I add 899 plus 221, that gives me $1,120 for my total outflow. Okay. So this helps me to check my math just to make sure. I can take my original income, 1725 minus 1120, should be the same as what we have down here, which is 605. So we are on track. We are now going into sinking funds with $605 left. Now, sinking funds are savings, but they are intended towards things that we might maybe put aside on a more regular basis. Maybe I have a fixed amount that I put aside. They're funds that are more likely to be spent out of, in my case. So for the two that we have to put aside every week that are non-negotiable for us is a fourth of our camper payment and a fourth of our storage. $160 for camper and $50 for storage. That's a total of $210. So I'm going to subtract out the $210 from the 605, leaving me with a total of $395. Now, we've taken care of fixed, variable, debt, and sinking funds, and we are now down to $395 as we move into the last category here, which in my case is savings challenges. So this is where I plan out what I'm going to do in my savings challenges each week. I have a total of $395 because I had $395 left over. So if I subtract that out, of course, that's going to make the total zero. This is what we mean by a zero-based budget. Okay. It doesn't mean that we have $0. It means that we have given every dollar a job. So 395 of those dollars are going into savings challenges and 210 are going into sinking funds. So let's figure this again. We've got 1725 for our total income. We have $899 for our fixed and variable. We have $221 for our debt, and we are going to add our sinking funds of $210 plus $395 for savings, gives us an image here of $605 in savings. So of the $1,725, $900 of it went to bills, $221 went to debt, and $605 is going into savings. And then we're doing zero rollover here. So I feel very happy that we have this amount to save for this week. There's certainly weeks when we have less than that. And it's certainly going to allow us to make a dent in this debt, because the more we can get this number down, the better off we're going to be. Okay, so that is our last paycheck for March. You're going to see, well, if you would have seen my Save with Friends video, you would see that we already did several of these challenges, but $395 is getting saved this week into challenges that we are doing in our videos. All right, so next week you'll get to see us see me budget with our monthly paycheck and see how that goes for April. All right, all the business is done. Let's get on to month ahead with just the pretty pink binder here. And I am happy to say, if you've been following along, we're getting very close. We have taken care of 9 of the 10 categories that we are currently working to get a month ahead on. And we are down to the very last one, which is cell phones. So it's a little anticlimactic because it means the whole $30 is going to go into this one. So we're going to put it in, and then we are going to count it up to see how much we have in here and see if we get to color any icons. So it'll be pretty easy until we are done with this one. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130, 131, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 138. And each icon is 18. So we're going to divide that by 18. And it says we should have 7 icons colored in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we do get to color an icon today. Right here. All right. So it's still slow going because it is a big expense. Our cell phone bill is one of our larger ones. But we're excited to see this one go down. Let's go ahead and trade this in, make it a little bit easier. We're going to trade these 520s in for 100. Alrighty. And let's see, what else can we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just makes it that much easier. Oh, there, I thought that was odd. I thought we had more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll grab this 5. Okay. So we still have the $138 of the $360. Now, when we are done with this, when we have saved a $360 towards this, we will have been 1 month ahead on these 10 bills. And I'm going to tell you right now, we had so much fun doing this, and this has been so successful for us. We're going to turn around and start it again. It might not be the same 10 expenses. It might be a different 10 expenses, or it might be the same ones going for a second month. But we're going to definitely keep doing the month ahead binder so that we can get even further ahead. All right, up next is our 2026 box, one of our other big saves that we are working towards, $2,026. This product's in my Etsy. It would look a little different because it is a digital download. I made mine into envelopes. We are saving in this every month or every week. And it looks like this week, thanks to our Save with Friends video, having a little extra money, we have a total of $47 to save with today. So let's see. The first one looks like we could do the 45. 45, yeah. And then we'll have one $2 bill left to do as we see fit. So let's do this 45 right here. Get this one colored in. And then let's see. Ooh, it looks like we could also do a $2 heart on the back side. So we can put the full 47 into the February folder or envelope. I don't know why I always want to call these folders. They're envelopes. All right, so we're doing our little boosted on the back side too. Let's see. I'm going to grab this as these envelopes are getting kind of thick, and I want to start paring them down because they will break, and I don't want them to break. So let's see. Organize this up a little bit. Woo! And we could use those ones. All right, so we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 right there. And grab a 100. There we go. And then it looks like 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. I should have just kept one of those 20s. Well, there we go. $123 so far of the 165 plus, because we're going to have our boost on the back as well. We're going to try to save all of it. Okay, so we have taken care of our 2026. We've finished up January. Did we condense this one down? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I think that one's going to be okay. Okay, all right. We are all done with that one for this week. That one's coming right along. That one's going to be really cool to see get all done. All right, next up, let's do our Christmas binder. We have our little Christmas cards here. I've got them turned around. This is also in my Etsy shop if you're interested as a digital download. I'm using it to help me save all year long. It's a box challenge, so these cards take us throughout this whole binder. Lots of fun stuff to have here. Let's see what we have to save with this week. Looks like we have 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. $35. So we had a little extra left over with Save with Friends that we didn't need, so we put it towards this. We broke it up and put it towards other challenges that we are saving for this week. Okay, up first is Search and Save. This looks like it belongs on the baking page. Holiday baking, there it is. Okay, it's $2. Cute. I do a lot of baking at the holidays time. Actually, you know what, guys? It's my husband who does the baking. More times than not, because I just don't have a lot of time. Let's do one of the bonuses. Let's do the 4 and the $2 for the rolling pin itself. So we'll put a total of $6 in there. And then this one will go back in the stack after it's dry, because it doesn't get finished until those bonuses are all done. Okay, next up, we are headed to Trim the Tree, which I think is right next to it. And we are going to do a roll and save. Okay, let's do a 6-sided dice. That's a 3, and then we can do a bonus on this one as well. Let's go ahead and do the 2. So we will have a total of 5 going in for this one today. And it'll go back in the stack because we're not done with it until we're done with the bonuses. All right, our next card. Ooh, we are headed to Christmas dinner. I don't think I'm going to be hosting this year, so I'll just get to bring something to Christmas dinner. But when I do host, it's definitely a huge expense. All right, so we're mashed potatoes, delicious. Roll and save again. All right, so we're going to do a 4. And then let's do the 1. Actually, let's do the 2. Let's do the 4 and the 2 for $6. Okay, so $6 going in, and another card is still going to go back into the stack. All right. Oh, what am I doing? What am I even doing? Okay, we're going back to trim the tree right here, and we're looking for this one. We're going to roll a 6. Of course we did. Let's do the 6 and the 4 to do $10 here and get that big one out of the way. And that will get us that $10 right there. Okay. And then let's see, we've got a few dollars left, so hopefully the cards are nice to us. Okay, we're headed back to dinner, to one that we had started previously. So really all we have to do is take care of these bonuses. For that turkey, we have a 3 and a 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do the 4 this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the way that I'm playing, I know that I already did the actual turkey itself, because I always do that the first time I draw the card. But now I know that I got to keep adding the number until those are all filled in. Okay, so $4 more towards the turkey. Oh, in the same boat here, we have a 2 and a 3. We're headed to stockings. Trim. I can't remember what we call this one. Where is it? Where are you, stockings? Maybe you're number 2. Stocking stuffers. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this one right here, we have a 3 and a 2 left. Let's do the 2. Ooh, we are getting down to some dangerous territory here. All right, we'll do the 2. Don't want to have an IOU at all. For sure. Okay, that one goes back into the stack. All right, next card. Ooh, okay, well, I apparently need to shuffle up because these are all things that we have been to before, but that's okay. We're going to get them taken care of. Here to the Santa cookie, who we started and didn't do all the bonuses yet, and it's going to allow us to do this last $2 here without an IOU and one step closer to getting him taken care of. All right, so we got quite a few cards done, or worked on at least, in today's game. I'm going to let these dry a little bit, and then I'm going to shuffle those in a little bit better before we play next week. Okay, so let me get these put away. It looks like for stocking stuffers, we ended up with so far only $4. So definitely just getting started on that. We visited holiday baking and added $6, and so far we have a total of 11. Coming right along. Trim the Tree got a lot today for $15, and so far we have a total, ooh, this one's a big one so far, of 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, and 27. It's $27 so far in that category. Didn't visit these at all this week. Christmas cookies got a total of 2 more this week. We need to trade these in for, get rid of some of these ones. These envelopes are going to get too thick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So not quite enough to do 10, but we can trade this in for a 5. Ooh! Knocking down dice. All right, $9 here so far in Christmas cookies. And then holiday dinner got a little bit, another $5. Oh, actually got another $10. And then let's see, what do we have in here? Ooh, quite a bit. So far, this one's been a good one. It's because it had that turkey in there. 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27. Let's do this. Let's take this 5, leave these 2s, and let's trade in this for a 20. All right. $27 for holiday dinner. I think that may be everything that we visited this week with the cards. Double check here. Yep, that's it. That's all we've got done this week, but that was a fun $35, was it not? Or 37. I can't even remember what we started with. There we go. Christmas is taken care of for this week. Saving all year round. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of Piggy Tires and Bubbles so we can save Saveopoly for last. Okay, we need our Piggy Tires here. There she is. This one comes from Maddie over at Floating Funds. We try to stay in, it looks like I had about $20 available for this, but I've got a buffer and that's what goes into the bubbles. So we will see if we can stay in the $20 range, but if we don't, that's okay. We've got a plan. Okay, so this says they're doing the D12, and that's 7 right there. We're supposed to do, if we want to, extra spicy. That was a 7, that color, and then red is 2. So we could do $14 right there. Woo! Okay, let's do it. Okay, so that's going to be 14 right there. And then let's go, oh, we have our D4, which is hiding in here. And that's a 3. And the green is a 2, so this is 6. Well, that turned out to be exactly $20, so we'll just call that good right there. Okay, let me get the monies out that we have set aside for that. All right. We said $20. And then we have 10 left for bubbles. Yep. Okay. So $20 going into Piggy Tires. We renamed her because she is likely going to go towards tires on the truck. All right, little Piggy so far has saved us 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, and $90. That will get us like a quarter of one tire. We're on our way. All right, up next is Bubbles from Dawn Sunrise Budgeting. We are having fun coloring in some colorful bubbles here. Let's see if we can find that challenge. Here it is. All right, now we have $10 and we have a choice. We can just go ahead and put the $10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to trade that in for a 10 here. And we're doing a color-coded sort of situation. I think we're going to go ahead and take care of another big bubble because we have 10 going in. And these big bubbles here are 10. Even if I'm doing the wrong color, I don't know. It's just going to be a colorful rainbow bubbles. But we know the big ones are 10. All right. $10 going in to bubbles. Let's see what we've saved so far in this one. This one we will pull during the March roundup to go towards a debt payment. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and $35. $35 for bubbles. Okay. All right. We've taken care of all of those. That leaves us with Saveopoly, which comes from Pink Plum Budgeting. We are saving here in this cute pink binder. Let's see how much we have to play with today. This game can get spicy. So we're going to see, pulling it all apart here. All right. Oh, and I need my game board. I need my game board. Here it is. Okie dokie. All right. We've got our little birdie who is going to hang out here on the go sign. We're going to count how much we have to play with. 10, 20, 25, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Wow, $40 to put towards some property. Okay, now as we go, we have to put $1 in the vault to start. So we're going to start by doing that. Here's the vault. You know what? We're going to do this. All right. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, community chest. Let's find that here in the book. Where are you? There you are. Okay, so how to play is you roll a d8 and save the number shown on the die. So let's see, where is our d8? Here it is. It's a 7. Wow. Okay. Okay. So let's get 5, 6, and 7. And we will color in another diamond here. $7 going into community chest. Roll again. Okay, 1, 2. Roll and save. Choose the die and save the amount rolled. Well, let's do this 8. How about that? That's a 6, and we need to find out where. Oh, we're putting that right here. So $6 going in there. All right, rolling again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're headed to Connecticut. Let's see. Connecticut is not owned yet, so we're going to pay $2 to buy that. $2 there. This is so fun. I love Monopoly. I mean Saveopoly. Inspired by Monopoly. Saving $2 right there. Well on our way. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Headed to States Avenue. Ooh, we already own that. So I've found one of you lovely viewers let me know that I was playing. I have to put $1 down for rent since I already own that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, St. James Place. All right, we have a total of $10 and we could own it. Let's do the 3. Let's do the 3 here. $3 is another step closer. 2, 1, 2, Tennessee, same thing. All right, we're gonna have to get some change. Let's do a 5 and 5 ones. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we could do 1, 2, 3, 4. I almost shorted myself. 5, right? Make sure I'm not cheating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sometimes these bills like to stick together. All right, Tennessee only needs 5 to own it. But let's start with the 3. I'm going to see if we can get a little further around the board. All right, so 3. We're going to be playing Saveopoly for a bit, I betcha. Plus, we can start getting a little more money set aside to play with. Okay, let's roll again. 1, New York. Okay. Let's see, a $5 bill to New York. Why not? Guess we're just going to really try to buy out all these orange properties. Awesome. Rolling again. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Headed to Indiana. All right, so we have 2 and a 10, so we have a total of $12 left. We're going to need change again. There's a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so we are at Indiana. We could do the 7 and get rid of the highest one. 5, 6, and 7. We'll go ahead and do that. Follow our rule of trying to get the highest one paid for as soon as possible. That way it's easier the next time. Okay. Rolling again. 1, 2. All right, we're headed to the railroad, which is back here. And this is $5 each time. They're $25. So let's see if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have exactly $5, so that will end our game. But that's okay. We didn't end up with a IOU, and we don't want one. So $5 it is. That worked out very nicely. And we are all done with Saveopoly for this week. We have spent all of our money. All right, let me see here. Let me get all of this put away. Okay, all done with Saveopoly for the week, and really all done with Saveopoly for March. So 1 month playing that game, and I can already tell we've made a huge dent in that. So that's going to be a really exciting thing to see how much we're able to save overall. One thing I'll have to decide is if we're going to continue saving this long term. I think we are probably going to help put it towards tires because it kind of takes some of the fun away to pull it out every month. And the tires are going to be a huge expense. So let's plan on Saveopoly going towards the tires probably. Okay, so that wraps up our Sunday adult with me, our budget with me. We are the next time we do this series, we'll be doing our first of our April paychecks. And the videos that we have left for the rest of the week are the Mini Monday, a Tiny Tuesday, and then if I can get Finn to come up here and film his the Fun video. If you've watched this long, thanks for hanging out there with me. Give me a comment down below. Let me know how your weekend was. Did you do anything exciting? If you're not a subscriber and you want to be, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It's real easy, just a little clicky click. We're working to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we would love to have you along for the journey. We got big plans for getting out of debt this year. So with that, I guess I will say I hope you have a great rest of the weekend, what little bit of it's left. I hope you have a wonderful start to your week, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.